of the great rabbis of yesteryear. Now, I believe we're on the 9th of Tevet. Tevet marks the Hilula of a really great rabbi. His name was Rabbi Yehoshua Besis. Zecher Tzadik Libracha. He was reported born in English year 1773 and passed away in 1860. Really, really great rabbi. He had been approximately about 87 years of age at the time he passed away. Now it's interesting, he would become a great posek halakha in Tunisia. He will have a position as the head of the Jewish court and the rabbi of his respective area. Very, very prominent positions, and we spoke about Tunisia on various occasions before. They had a really great, strong Jewish and Torah community in of itself at that point in time. Now he would learn under great rabbis, including famous Rabbi Moshe Salum, who happened to be the author, I believe, of the great Torah book called the Yismach Moshe. I think that actually concentrates on Mesechet Tzvachim in the Shas in of itself. Also, another one of the great rabbis he learned was another great rabbi, Tunisian rabbi, Rabbi Yitzchak Tayyab. He happened to be the author of the book, the Aruch HaShulchan, respectively. Now, he was the Dayan, a judge, as we say in Hebrew, in the Bet Din of Rabbi Tayyab over there. It's actually interesting. I think it happened to be around the year of 1847. Another great rabbi who would become a great rabbi also in the country Andorra, reported over, Rabbi Yitzchak Kohen Tanoji. He passed away in 1847, and it would turn out that Rabbi Yehoshua Besis would actually take his position, let's just say, as the head of the Jewish court and the chief rabbi of Tunis. These were really prominent positions, I believe, for around a 12-year period until the time he passed away, I believe in 1860. So it was around the year 1847-ish where he would take on this position. He did a huge amount of Torah outreach work throughout his years in Tunisia, respectively. Many, many years he would actually spend, and he would do huge amounts of outreach, mitzchazek, that specific, let's just say, strengthen the Jewish community in of itself, and really promote Torah at a great level. So he would not just work in outreach, not just work in community work, not just render halachic Torah decisions in of itself, but do very, very much a great amount. He was actually known to become to have been a very, very sharp Torah learner, brilliant Torah learner, and his analytical, deep thinking could make him answer the strongest, most difficult teshuvot. It was actually reported over that two rabbis would actually correspond and ask him questions from Ashkenazic countries, very, very difficult questions, which he asked many of the famous Eastern European Ashkenazi rabbis, and they weren't necessarily totally satisfied with the answers they received, but they came to him, to Rabbi Yehoshua Besis. Reported over, it happened to be Rabbi Ephraim Hayut and Rabbi Avram Sussman, I think really great rabbis from I think the Hungary area or Poland there respectively, and they asked him, they corresponded with him in Shelot, and they realized how amazing and how he explained the answers to these questions at such a great level in of itself. It's reported over he was a great Kabbalist also, which we have to point out, very famous Kabbalist he was, and performed like Nisim miracles. There was very difficult gezerot on the community, I think in Tunisia and various different other places. People come to him asking for advice, what to do, and he stopped various different decrees or gezerot, as you can say, all throughout those specific vicinities. He was known as a wondrous and incredible rabbi, absolutely amazing. He protected, I think there was Arab rioters that tried to anti-Semitically cause problems for the Jewish community in his area in Tunisia, but he actually stopped it. Protect the Jews with filot, and very much. It's actually interesting. The Bey of Tunisia happened to be a friend of him, so it was well corresponding, not just within regards to the Jewish community as a whole, but within regards to Tunisian totality, within regards to even the kingdom of, let's just say, the head governors of Tunisia really respected him at a huge level in of itself. They considered him a genius, a gaon, as they say, and a brilliant rabbi. In of itself, many people would actually classify him as. It's actually interesting to point out at something else. Rabbi Avram and Kawa, another great rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions, also praised him at the highest level. Remember, we spoke about Rabbi Avram on a separate video not so long ago. He would do, especially reported about Sudat, or the Thanksgiving meal, for the Hilulot of the great Tzaddikim, I think, around the time period of Tevet, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll have to double check. Now, interesting, he died and they called him the Keter Paz, according to a few people, because I think Keter has a gematria of 1860, if I'm not mistaken. No, so the Keter and Paz, I think, comes with a year, it's Keter, 1860. That's what you call it in the Hebrew numericals when you say 1860. And I think Paz is the gematria of 87. Pay and design, respectively, was 87. So Keter Paz, very nice name. So he passed away, I believe, in the year 1860, as we stated before, and people in his community would fast not just on the 9th of Tevet on the date of his Hilula, also naturally it was Asar B'Tevet, which is a public Jewish fast day. The 10th of Tevet is every year, Asar B'Tevet, as they say. So they would fast 2 days in those vicinities, and because he was a really, really great rabbi. He had many great students, including Rabbi Avram HaKohen Yitzchaki, who I believe was author of the great Torah book called the Mishmeret Kahuna. Another one of the great rabbis he actually taught, and who became a brilliant rabbi. Also was Rabbi Abraham Hajjaj, who became a Bet Din, head of Jewish court in Tunisia, and author, I think, of the Zura Shel Abraham, if I'm not mistaken. Now, he himself wrote 2 great Torah books in of itself. Let's explore them. The Abnei Zedek, which was, I think, in 2 volumes, I think comprised of the Shulchan Aruch, Code of Jewish Law, the Orach Chaim, also the Yeridea in of itself, and other points. I think it was published through another great Tunisian rabbi, I believe, Rabbi Moshe Shutrik, published it. Then there was many halachic questions and answers, as they call it, Shut, Sheilot and Shuvot. They were, I think, printed at one point in time, I think by the Genezei Shalom, by Rabbi Shalom Shimoni. It was reported that would have published many of his questions and answers in a brilliant publishing in of itself. So Tevet, the 9th of Tevet, is a great Tunisian rabbi's Hilula. Please don't forget to light candles in the great rabbi's memory. We are a community, friends, over here. We're learning about many of the great rabbis of yesteryear. There were many, many great rabbis in Jewish history. We've covered about 600 great Chachamim. If you happen to be related to any of the great Chachamim of yesteryear, especially who we mentioned about in a specific video, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information. If you feel anyone is interested in listening to these videos, please do it. It's Hilula. Light candles in the great rabbi's memory, and please subscribe to the channel. Wishing you blessings here from Israel. Wishing you well, and take care.